This video was brought to you by New Silly Premium Deluxe. New Silly Premium Deluxe. It's the Beataholics.
Welcome to the Inquisition, or was it Inquisition?
Oh yeah, that's what it is, the Inquisitor. Yeah, what do you think of the name? Bit silly.
I like it.
It's a reference to, are you familiar with the television program Red Dwarf?
I am not, actually. That's when I am not.
Well, it's an episode of Red Dwarf, and it's basically this guy who tries to erase them from history, so it's a fun episode. I highly recommend it if you ever get a chance to watch it.
You'll have to get into it.
Greetings, sentient life forms. I am Swifto, and welcome to the Inquisitor. And this is basically a series of videos. Well, actually, this is the first one. Hopefully, it'll be a series where I talk to fellow online content creators. And for this first episode, we have our first guest. Who would have guessed? For this first episode, I have a very special guest, all the way from the other side of the pond, from the United States of the Americas. It is the one, the only, Mr Boxin.
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing?
How you doing over there?
It's alright, it's a wee bit wet, as it usually is here in Scotland. How's the weather over there in the colonies?
A little bit wet. Actually, like, so I'm people might not know this, my history comes from Scotland.
Oh, do you? I didn't know that.
People actually settled up here in upstate New York because it was so familiar with back home, where you live. So it's actually
because it's grey and dreary, is it?
Grey and dreary a lot of the time, yes, in good old New York State. I poked myself. I'm hurting myself over here.
Oh, what happened?
I'm playing with a safety pin, just because I have I fidget. So what is going on?
I do that as well when I'm nervous. I fiddle with stuff. Hopefully I don't accidentally pull a wire out or anything.
No, I'm good.
So basically what we're going to do is just have a wee chat, and then later on we will be doing a wee bit of a quiz. And are you excited for the quiz?
I am excited and nervous at the same time, because knowing you, it will be a no-win situation. So, which I look forward to.
You might win. You might. And considering you're the first person to take the quiz, I think there's a fairly good chance that you'll get in first place.
Wait, are you gonna have a scoreboard? Because I'd love to have a scoreboard, and then every time someone comes on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because you're the first person.
So no matter what, I'll have first place. So I'm a winner, like all Americans are. Yeah,
exactly. So I was going to ask you, how long have you been an American for? Has it been all your life, or is it like a life choice that you've just started, or what?
Well, let's see. My father came in my mother around 1991 sometime, and I was born later that year, so 1991, about 31 years.
I thought you were considerably younger than me. I didn't realise you were born in 91.
91.
Oh, we're about the same age then.
the best year, right?
Of course. That's when Sonic the Hedgehog came out.
It is. That is indeed true.
And probably loads of other games which I can't think of right at the top of my head.
I mean, it's Sonic on the
on the Mega Drive, right? Yeah. The Genesis.
That's heresy.
Yeah, the Genesis, as you Americans call it.
Yes, the Genesis. That's my. So my brother had a Nintendo, and wow.
Apparently, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Whatever that means. So, how did the whole I've always been a wee bit slightly confused about this. Is it Boxin Dachshund or is it Boxin Dachshund?
It's Dachshund. It's German.
Dachshund.
Dachshund. Dachshund. Yeah.
Right, so is it both or one or the other?
I think it just depends on how you say it, how you want to pronounce it. I think the proper pronunciation is Dachshund.
Dachshund.
Right? So they're always like, Dachshund! 9!
They're always so angry.
Exactly. It's the angry language. That's why the little dogs are so angry. And that's why we're always fighting.
So how did that come about, you calling yourself Boxin and your channel Boxin Dachshund?
So, I've always been there's actually quite a bit, kind of a deep meaning with it. So I've always had dachshunds ever since I was a baby. When I was born, we had a dachshund, a mini dachshund, short-haired dachshund named Maxine, and I loved that dog. We grew up with the dog. Unfortunately, she passed away. We had a new dog named Apollo, and he's the reddish tan. Which, if you look at my logo, the reddish tan orange dog, it's after him.
Apollo named after Apollo Creed.
Apollo the sun god, because every time we brought
it's just the whole boxing thing. I thought maybe it was to do with Rocky.
No, not the Rocky. I do like Rocky though. Great movies.
Yeah.
But no, he would lay in the sun. Obviously up here, the sun is very short, so he would always find the sunniest spot in the house and lay in it. So Apollo the sun god.
Dogs always do that, don't they? They lie in the most awkward positions so they can sit in the sun.
No, literally, he would morph himself into whatever shape the sun was coming through the window. Yeah. So if it was a circle, he'd be a donut, and if it was a line, he'd be a straight, laid out hot dog. But so the dachshund, that's obviously the dachshund part is my favorite breed of dog, and I've had them ever since I was a kid. But the boxing part is I enjoy boxing. I've never been in a real fighter, but I enjoy the sport in the practice of it. I think it takes a lot of patience and determination to hone the skill of it. And I'm not good at it at all. I don't think I am. I don't think I'm a great fighter at all. But it's kind of the American me, always keep fighting, right? So it's the way to incorporate the fighting dog. And actually, when I was playing D&D with my my friends in high school, I came up with a pub, because obviously you have to have a good pub to meet in the tavern to meet the whole crew, and it was the Boxing Dash Hound.
I see.
Like the feisty goat, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's a famous bar in England or something like that.
Do you still do the whole D&D thing?
Not really. All my older friends have moved away, but I do collect. This artist called JP Coover, who's really big into D&D. He has a Patreon that I'm subscribed to, and every month he sends out a new little booklet for a new adventure. So I would love to start getting that stuff for my son or daughters. It'd be fun.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Get them off the screens.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that at all. Basically, because I don't have any friends around to do anything like that. But
well, neither do I anymore.
It's always been something that I'd like to do, because I've heard it can be quite fun.
Over here, we'll have a session.
I'll just pop round to your house for a while at some point. Yeah. It's only a quick swim across the water, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a 12-hour flight or something like that. It's probably a 6-hour flight, actually. So,
when did you start making online content, like YouTube or Twitch or whatever?
So, my first online content, so I've had many names going throughout the years until I've landed on this one. I think when the first one was Spark Gaming, and there were like 30,000 Spark Gaming, so I had to change that. But I want to say I started right before my first son was born, and he's 9, so I'm doing this for about 10 years now.
Oh, almost as long as me.
Basically, as long as you. Not a lot less successful though.
Yeah. Don't ever look at the numbers on YouTube. It just depresses you.
No, you don't.
I've been doing it for 13 years, but I've had various different channels over the years. Like you, I just keep changing it about, I suppose.
Yeah. And actually, I had the urge the other day to change it. I was like, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. You're so close.
Don't do that. I like the whole boxing thing, and I like how you've got your character there. Did you draw that yourself?
Yes, I did all that. All my art, for the most part, is done by me. The only thing I haven't done is a quick alert on my Twitch channel, The Chicken. That was actually done professionally.
Alright. Because I think pretty good artist. Is it something you're interested in at all?
Oh, I'm definitely interested, and actually I have plans to further that really soon.
Right.
If you've been around for a while, so I do shirts sometimes. Like, I'll do shirt designs and post them online up on Teespring.
Yeah.
And those do pretty well, actually.
Can't remember now. I think that might have been the first video I ever saw of yours where you were doing
the stickers.
I can't remember what it was. You were doing your T-shirts thing. It was like a promotional video for that. I think. It was a long time ago. I can't remember now.
I did an in-house print shirt one. I still have like 30 of those left, unfortunately. But then I did like a sticker promo, which is Crazy Justin.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that one? When I finally show my balding head? Slap a sticker on it?
The first time I ever became aware of you, it was actually on Sardonic Pickles streams. I think it was... well, actually, I'd watched a few of his before. The first one that I watched, I think he was playing Sly Cooper, but I never said anything because it's always a bit awkward when you first come across like a new channel or person on Twitch. You don't really know what to say at first, so you sort of lurk for a while. And I think the first time I ever commented was, do you remember when he was playing Psychonauts? I think it was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember. That was so long ago.
Yeah, I think there was you, there was Yams, Ryder. It's just, everyone was very welcoming, and eventually after that I thought, who is this boxing guy? I've got to check him out. And
well,
been a fan of yours ever since.
Well, thank you. I'm a fan. But no, I'm a big fan of yours as well. I really do love your humor. It's very niche. I'm gonna say that. It takes a special person to understand you. I think, like, understand your humor at least.
A lot of people have said that I have a niche sense of humor, or sort of quirky or eccentric. Cause I don't know what they're on about. To be honest, I think it's pretty normal. Like, sitting naked reading a children's book. What's wrong with that?
As long as there's no children around.
Is there anyone who inspired you to start making your videos and stuff?
So, my first content I used to make was Minecraft videos.
All right.
So, when I was in high school, YouTube just started up. I finally got my first camera. I made a hacked together Macbeth project for English class, going back to Scotland.
Right.
And it was terrible. Let's just get this straight. And I couldn't even edit it. I didn't have any program to edit it. I was like, oh, this is horrible.
Well, you were making Macbeth in Minecraft, were you?
What?
You were doing it in Minecraft, were you? Or...
Oh, no.
Right, this is a separate thing, sorry.
For a project. I'm sorry, this was like a year before I started doing YouTube. And the teacher's like, you know what, you and me and my buddy at the time were pretty funny. So I was like, okay, thank you. And he's like, maybe think about doing something to it. It'd be really cool. Not many people do it, especially around here. So I thought about it for a while. And then me and my friends with my little older, tape recorder, we started making like just silly videos together, and then they put a couple of them up on YouTube, and they did pretty well. It was a channel called "Cause We Could." It was just like little stupid skits, bathroom skits in the school and stuff like that, which were probably...
When would this have been?
This would have been 2011, right when I got out of high school.
Because I was going to say, I think quite a lot of the edits you do are quite well done. Like, I was wondering if you'd done any sort of courses or anything. Video editing.
No, I didn't do any courses. I'm as far as like all this YouTube and art stuff, as far as digital art, I'm completely self-taught. Yeah. And I think YouTube's such a good resource for self-teaching. Yeah,
because I love that, but I think it was in the first episode of your News for Nerds one where you're flinging spells at your son and he turns into the dog. That was very well done.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a lot easier now because I have my, obviously, my slave crew, my underpaid child wage crew. So he's actually been a great help.
The cones are very impressive.
Thank you very much. I'm only hope to get better. I only hope I'm starting. This next one is pretty good, actually. I think coming out soon. But yeah, no, I think just learning and doing. Obviously, obviously we mentioned earlier. Sardonic Pickle. There's this philosophy I have is like, if you want to learn to do something, you need to start doing it. Whether you know how to or not, you will learn as you go. Now, that doesn't mean you don't learn from other resources, but you have to start doing it so you can, okay, I don't do this, I do this instead, because this will work better in the end. Yeah,
it's sort of like exercising. If you're doing anything creative, you've got to keep doing it, and eventually you get better and better, don't you?
Absolutely, it's just like boxing. Like you do it with anything. Anything you do, the more you do it, the more you open yourself to it, the better you're going to be at doing it.
The problem is I have long gaps between doing stuff. If I'm doing animation or drawing or something, it's like months where I don't do anything and I sort of go floppy.
Yeah.
That's not a euphemism. Just like you need to keep doing it to keep it up, kind of thing.
Yeah, you need to polish the sword, as one would say.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone says that but me, so I just made that up. That's I'm patenting that. No one can take that TM'd. Polish the sword. There you
I think I've heard it before, but
go. Oh damn it!
I'll,
I thought it was first.
we'll just say you did it first, and then it went backwards in time through a time vortex, and
The almighty time travel that I possess. It's all called chicken powered. All chicken powered too.
it fell through a rift in time. But you were actually the first person to say it right there. So all those other people that said it before you, they're just copying you.
It's like those people who claim to time travel all the time, and they say, "Yeah, I was in that photo," and you go back, now they were in that photo. It could be real. Who knows? But how about what got you started?
It's funny. I didn't really prepare for you asking me questions. I'm the Inquisitor here, but I suppose
I'm inquisitioning you.
yeah. Well, it's a long story, but basically,
So is mine.
as you can probably tell, I'm a bit of a nervous kind of person. I get nervous about everything, so my initial idea for doing YouTube and stuff was to try and force myself to be more outgoing and communicate more verbally, because I don't really communicate a lot verbally when I'm not doing YouTube and Twitch or whatever. So it was basically a way of me trying to force myself to be more social and to try and help me with life in general, like trying to look for work and try to find friends out in the real world and stuff. But I'm not really sure how successful I've been, but I think I've learned a lot from doing YouTube, just not really learned the things that I thought I was going to learn, if that makes sense.
Yeah, unexpected lessons, right?
Yeah, but it's been fun, like, meeting people, and unfortunately people come and go, and sometimes you don't know why they disappear off the face of the planet, but it's been a lot of fun meeting people like you and all sorts of other people from doing YouTube and Twitch and all that. So yeah, that's basically it.
Nice. Like I'm kind of in a similar boat, because I had a very small group of friends in my school. Like that was it. Like I had 3 friends and that was it. And they were all very outgoing, and I was always the shy one.
Yeah, same
now,
here.
I'm doing YouTube, and I'm actually emceeing tournaments for robots and stuff like that now, which is, so I think ultimately I've definitely upgraded. I've leveled up, as the gamers would say.
I think that's the same for a lot of people who do online content. They're usually not the outgoing type and more sort of quiet, creative types. Usually tends to be the way it is, doesn't it?
But
So
yeah, I actually never really answered your question. So yeah, my influence, like for first starting, was a guy named Simple Minded People SMP Films.
Right.
He used to go by Mr. Safety. He actually made the Mean Kitty video, if you ever remember that.
Was that an animated thing?
No, it was just, he got a cat. The cat was ruining his house. He called it Mean Kitty, and he made a song about it. He got pretty big off of it. And I thought it was, kind of cool, so I started dabbling in it, and I watched people like Yogg's Cast. I'm like, oh, they're doing this stuff with Minecraft, so I started making short little Minecraft videos.
Oh, I see. What about, when did you start doing Twitch then?
Not till recently. Let's see, 2019 I became affiliate, and then probably 2 years before that I started, so probably 2018, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I could look back on it, but it's probably about right.
I'm trying to remember what was the first one that I watched of yours. I think, what was that game that's about like Prison Architect and
Prison Architect?
No, it was a game like it though, but it had like giant sloths and stuff. Do you remember that?
RimWorld?
Was that what it was?
It might be. RimWorld and Prison Architect both have pawns, and they're very similar styles.
Yeah, I think that might have been possibly the first or one of the first ones that I ever watched of yours. I just remember the giant sloths.
Oh yeah, Omega Sloths. Yeah, it was RimWorld.
Right, yeah.
I thought you were saying sword.
Oh, sorry.
Sword. It's okay.
Damn my Scottish accent.
It's the beautiful accent of yours. I wish I had it. Ladies love that stuff over here, bud. You gotta come over here. A lot more free.
Yeah.
A lot more crazy, though.
So is it true that you're a firefighter then?
I am. Yeah. Right out of high school,
Is that a job or is it volunteering or what?
it's volunteer. It was intended to become a job, but things
Right.
didn't work out. So it's kind of it's not a hobby. It's a volunteer, and it's a sense of duty for me.
It seems like it would be quite a hard thing to do, is it? Quite
Yes.
demanding.
Yes. Obviously, volunteer is a little bit different than professional. Obviously, professionals, they have to stay at a certain peak level. Volunteers
Right.
tend to be a little bit more lax, but just getting into it, it's when I got in 2011, it was like you needed 189 hours of training,
Right.
and I would never have been able to do that like now, and having kids and stuff like that. So right out of high school was definitely the time to do it.
Oh, I
I
see.
had a little bit more free time.
I don't know how the correct way to phrase this, but is it rewarding? Is it fun? Or
Oh,
well, it wouldn't be
great.
fun, I suppose, but is
So
that a good thing to do, basically?
I think it's a good thing. I think
Yeah. Well, obviously it is, but
I think it creates a sense of duty in somebody. It gives
Yeah.
gives me a higher purpose. So like
Right,
I said,
see.
right out of high school, it's what I want to do as a career. So I joined the same department I'm in currently as a volunteer, so I could get the training, get the skills, get the experience. While I went to college for my paramedic, then I would go to the professional department and try to and applied. Some paperwork stuff happened and nothing came of that. I was being candidated, which means I was being recruited by the department, but you need to be a paramedic in order to join, and
all right.
some paperwork did not go through.
Is that in
very long
case
story.
you find anybody that needs to be resuscitated or anything like that?
Well, it's so at the time, like literally that year was when they started. You need to be a paramedic because I needed to
Right.
be 21 to apply, and I applied when I was 20. So so you could apply at 20, but you had to be 21 to get hired. You also had to be a medic or what's called a ALS tech, advanced life support tech, because
Okay.
or because I don't want to say the town. The town was moving over to handling both ambulance and fire calls at the time, which a lot of departments are doing now. So you had to be at that level to be there. But before that,
Yeah.
you could be an BLS, a basic life support technician, or an EMT.
Right. So, on to more serious questions now. What's your favourite kind of gaming cheese? Like, cheese that you like to eat while gaming.
Gaming cheese? Oh, American, bud. American.
What is American cheese?
It's highly processed, like cheddar, kind of. It's
Right. Is that like the wee ones that's like squares and sort of
yes,
floppy?
squares that come in plastic packaging. It's terrible for you, but that's the best kind in my opinion.
I can't stand them.
the highest heart clogging one, obviously.
Yeah. Alright. So, you're obviously quite an animal lover. What can you tell me about your little babies? Can't hear them at the moment, but
Yeah.
are they still with you?
I can hear 'em. Cheep cheeps. Can you hear them now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll turn the mic back down. No, they're. I love animals. Obviously, I love dogs. I've had a dog almost all my life. There's the short stint we didn't have a dog between Maxine and Apollo. I felt empty.
a dog in the background of a few of your streams and videos and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably Apollo because Lucky likes to stay upstairs.
right.
Apollo, when he's so we got Apollo when I was in high school. Then I went off to college. Right, I never left town, but I was always away. So he got really attached to my father. So he lives at my
Must be
parents'
quite
house.
old then.
He's getting up there in age. He's very gray. He's an old man.
Yeah.
But that dog's been hit by cars and survived, which is why he's the mascot, because he's fights, keeps
Pretty
going.
tough dog. That's actually what happened to my dog many years ago. I got hit by a car, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
That was a long time ago.
No, we honestly thought this was like 5 years ago. It has to be 5-6 years ago. He ran out chasing another dog across outside of my parents' house and ran across the yard and didn't stop, didn't look both ways, obviously. We told him to look both ways, never did. But ran out in the middle of the road and literally stops right in front of he's lucky it was like how do I call it? A VW bus. You know what I'm talking about? The old hippie vans.
All right.
And he either just barely laid down right before it hit him, because we heard a tunk, like him hit, and then you ever watch? Have you seen a dog get hit by a car? Have you ever seen them do the spin where they'll just spin around in circles?
No.
Like we thought he was dead. We honestly we took him. He had a huge cut across his jowl, and we took him to the vet, and they said he's perfectly fine, and he was fine. So dog is a lucky SOB, and literally
immortal dog maybe.
And well, now he's old, so he's upgrading from Apollo to Zeus. That doesn't make any sense, but I think it's funnier. No, so dogs, obviously we've had cats. I've had orange cats only. We have an orange cat now. You'll see him in the background a bunch of times in my videos too. Moon will come in. He'll actually crawl through. So you know the hole in my door, right? My office.
Yeah.
He will jump up if I lock him out, like without locking the upstairs. Really? He'll jump through the hole, come in to hang out with me in here, in my little fortress of solitude. He's a pretty crazy cat, but he's a good cat. He's a micer too. He gets all the mice by the chicken coops.
Oh, that's good.
And then obviously, the last animals are recently in my life, in the last year, chickens.
Yeah. A lot of cats are pretty useless at catching mice, I can tell you. But that's good that yours is.
The trick with keeping cats fit is putting their food up where they have to jump to it. Because if they can't jump to it, they won't eat.
Right.
That's what I found. Because our first orange cat, Simba,
make them work for it.
Exactly. But he's an outside cat. He goes in and out. He's a barn cat. He's a good kitty cat. Good kitty cat. And then the chickens, and obviously the chickens attract mice with their feed, so the cat eats the mice.
Yeah.
But the chickens are great. They are. I suggest anyone, if you have a little piece of land, get backyard chickens. They're awesome. Even just 2 or 3.
My gran had chickens years and years ago. Or well, we called them hens, but
well, hens, chickens.
They weren't. They didn't really lay a lot of eggs, though. Unfortunately.
Really?
There were a couple of times where they laid eggs, I think, but they're more just sort of for pets, really.
Well, that's the thing is they make great pets, honestly. Obviously, outside pets, but like the eggs are just a bonus.
Yeah.
We have probably 10 chickens outside, and then we have these 6 babies in here.
All right.
And we get a dozen eggs a day.
And once they grow up, you'll put them outside, will you?
Yeah, when these guys get their full feathers, because it's too cold right now up here. We still have snow on the ground.
You get wolves or anything up where you are?
The wolves haven't been in the Adirondacks for years, but we do have bear, we have raccoons, we have possums, we have. Actually, the other day,
gotta make sure they're safe. Then, yeah.
Yeah, I have one rooster to kind of do protection for him, and he was flipping out the other day. So I go, "What the heck are you guys doing?" I look up. There's a freaking bald eagle because we live a little bit from the river, circling. Right. I'm like, yeah, no wonder you're flipping out. So, but they have a coop. They know to go in if they see a hawk or whatever. So yeah, we got hawks. We have a bunch of things that eat them. Oh, we have foxes too around here.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of an issue when we first got chickens with foxes, but we took care of that the American way.
Why did you shoot them all?
I shot one, and then we found another one on the road. Must have gotten hit by a car up the road a little bit. So, but there's still a couple around, but they've kind of learned to back off. And I have the chickens secure enough now, compared to the first coop, that it protects them well. They can't get in, at least for now. They're foxy, crafty little fricks.
Yeah, it's funny. We get foxes here in Britain, but there aren't any round where I am. I don't think I've never seen them round where I am, but they are supposed to be around. I've seen them like going down to Glasgow and stuff on the train. Yeah,
I see a lot of things.
We don't get bears or wolves or anything because we hunted them all down and committed genocide. So
well, that's what happened here with our wolf population.
Right.
So the Adirondack wolf. I think it was a gray wolf. They called it. They basically got hunted out all the way up into Canada. So they've put legislation to try to reintroduce them,
Every few years, you'll hear a story or they're going to bring back wolves to Scotland, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
I think it's a terrible idea. I'm by the way, I'm like a naturalist. I love nature. I think nature should be pretty
Yeah.
pure. But we've at this point, the ecosystems evolved so rapidly around not having them that putting them back
Yeah,
in
that's what I was going to say.
would destroy it. Yeah.
It seems silly bringing wolves back to Scotland because pretty much everything that Scotland used to be is pretty much gone now. It's been completely repurposed for human beings. It's basically the natural part of Scotland doesn't really exist anymore apart from in very small patches. So
Yeah, you'd get them in neighborhoods and stuff like that. It would cause a huge issue.
yeah,
I mean, even out west. So
I mean all the haggises would be hunted down.
all the haggises would be gone. You can't have that. Your national animal behind the unicorn.
Oh yeah, the unicorns as well. I think haggis are probably unicorn eggs.
That might be
I think
what it
that's what
is.
that's called.
Maybe that's why you don't see many unicorns, because everyone's eating the haggis.
Yeah, exactly. So, what are your future plans for Twitch or YouTube or anything like that?
So,
if you have any. Sorry.
I do have plans. I have actually a lot of plans. I have something very secretive going on right now. I don't want to speak about.
That's alright.
But as for the main channel, Boxin is I have, obviously I'm doing the news for nerds every month.
Yeah.
Once a month we're doing that. Then I'm doing the little update videos throughout the month on like time sensitive topics.
Is that going to be your main focus then?
I think that's going to be the main regular content, but I do want to keep doing like comedy skits. I want to do more stuff like that. That's kind of what I wanted to do coming into YouTube. I like I said, I took inspiration from Yogscast, and they were always funny. My other
I keep hearing about Yogscast. I've never actually seen them.
Really?
There's loads of big channels that everyone talks about as inspired them, and then I'm just like, who are these people? I've never seen them before. But
so if you
sort of funny. Sorry.
I watched like The Shadow of Israfel, which is Simon Lewis from Yogscast. That's what got me into them, and it was
Right. I don't know who that is.
They were hilarious, and it made you feel like you had a friend. And I'm going to sound like such a loser, but at a time when I really didn't have friends, they were doing a lot of sports, and I really wasn't a very athletic person at the time. I
don't think you're a loser. There were plenty of times when I was watching YouTube and was watching. No, you're not. Sometimes it's just nice if you put on a podcast or something and you're busy doing something. It's like you're part of someone's conversation, even though you're not really taking part. And it's nice to have people online who have similar interests. And it sort of does feel like you're a friend, even though they've never met you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're absolutely fine. But yeah, no, that's kind of what it was. It was kind of like I think that's why Let's Plays were so popular. It was a podcast before podcasts started. So you had something in the background to do something, but you also kind of felt like you got a connection with those people or the person playing. But that's kind of why I think Let's Plays are dying out, and you're seeing more of this one story-driven content or two podcast-driven content.
Right.
I would like to do a regular podcast, but the issue is trying to get friends over to do it, or connect with people like you. The time zone things always suck.
Yeah, and it's difficult to find a time where each party is free, and obviously, like you're saying, time zones and all that. It's just really difficult. But it's great doing the live streams, because even if you're not able to talk to people in real time, like what we're doing now, you can sort of have silly conversations in the chat and get all sorts of running jokes that nobody else will understand.
Yeah,
I love doing that.
Obviously, Moogle. I met Moogle through streaming. I met Pickle through streaming. I met you through streaming. Ryder Oz, obviously, I always have to give a shout out to the epic Ryder.
Of course.
And Kanel, Dave's wife. I mean, like we have this like little community going. It's pretty nice.
Do as many shout outs as you like. The more shout outs, the better.
That's basically it.
Yeah. Who else could we mention? I think that's pretty much the main people, isn't it?
That's pretty much me. Well, I mean, I've been watching like on for like my off-brand people that aren't very community, like our community. Toki. Yeah. Toki's a pretty hilarious guy. He streams late at night for me, but He's perfected his craft at what he does, for sure.
All right, I don't think I've heard of them.
No, he's not huge, but he's like a medium-sized streamer. Probably about
Right.
100 every stream. As big as the world seems, too, it also seems very small. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what other time period could I meet someone from Australia, someone from the Philippines, someone from Scotland, someone from
That's what I
England,
was gonna say.
and have similar interests with all of you?
And it's just amazing that we can all have a conversation together. Someone, like you're saying, someone in Australia, someone from America, someone in wherever, like Thailand or whatever, all at the same time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think the internet's great for that, but I think the internet's also been a very huge detriment to a lot of things as well.
Oh yeah, unfortunately. But it's just part of it, I suppose. Got to take the rough with the smooth, as they say.
Yeah, so you go through the harder grit sandpaper to get the smooth grits.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about future plans, or is that it?
Well, I mean, continue this content, grow the brand, try to make things smoother, get better. Obviously, once I think I have like the news for nerds down as a science, I'll probably start to branch out into something different, because that should be a lot easier for me at the time after that. But I want to do skits. I've always been interested in doing a podcast, but the trouble is just getting people to do it with. So if I get someone to do it with regularly on a normal basis.
I thought the one you did with Sodonic Pickle was pretty good. I quite enjoyed that.
That was the first, my attempt at it, at least. And there's a lot of drama surrounding that one, actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't even want to get into it at this point. It's not even worth bringing up at this point.
Right. Okay.
And it wasn't with Sardonic; it was with other people.
Okay. You don't have to say anything more than that. That's fine.
Unless, do you want us to talk about your goals?
My goals.
Yeah, let's talk about you, Swifto.
My goal is to survive another year for another pointless year after another pointless year, and then just keep going from there.
I mean, that's a goal.
I'm such an optimist. I think that's why I'm so popular on YouTube.
But you're still chugging away. That's what's important, honestly. You can be like, okay, this isn't gonna work, but if you don't try it, I'm gonna discredit you, because not you, but in general, discredit somebody because they're not even trying. As long as you're trying to do something, you're moving forward.
But a lot of it has to do with just getting over the initial shock of doing something new, and it's a problem I've had all throughout my life and still have. Like, even today, before we started, I was thinking, oh no, I'm not really sure that I want to do this because I'm so nervous. And like, before I started, I had like 2 cups of tea and a couple of bits of chocolate and listened to sort of music to get me pumped, get me ready for this podcast thing that we're doing, because a couple hours ago I was thinking to myself, I just want to go back to bed.
The funny thing is that I did the exact same thing. I literally, as I was walking through the door, I was listening to obviously good old pop punk music, and that's what always gets me jumped up. That's kind of so. Do you have a routine before you start doing a video, start recording?
No, not really. But
listen, take a drink of water. You don't listen to music before you start recording or anything like that?
I haven't really been recording a lot recently because I sort of quit my YouTube channel for a while. I'm just slowly getting back into it. But back in the day when I was doing loads of videos, like almost every day or something, really unhealthy, but I was just so nervous all the time, like shaking like on camera and stuff, and stuttering, getting words muddled up and stuff. The only way that I could cope with my nervousness was just eat a shitload of sugary sweets and stuff, and just get high on sugar, basically.
Yeah,
that's basically how I do my videos. I don't do drugs or anything, but I do eat a lot of sugary junk.
Well, I mean, I think you're better off than half the world who's addicted to caffeine like me.
Well, I did have a couple of cups of tea.
Yeah, but compared to like half the world who's drinking coffee 24/7, I think you're a lot better off.
Yeah, I wish I could be as I don't know. Well, you were saying you're feeling nervous too, but I always get the impression from you that you're always, what am I trying to say? Like, you always seem focused on what you're doing, always calm and collected. At least that's the impression I get from your videos.
So honestly, I attribute that to firefighting and EMS, because I've gone through so much, and obviously just acclimation to myself to the camera and stuff like that. But But through EMS and fire, you come across these incidents where you like So funny thing, and this is, I think the time's passed. So we had a serious snowmobile accident up on a ski mountain. This is my first ever EMS call solo, right? So normally I'd have an EMT that was in charge of me, whatever. So literally I had to ride this big tractor up the mountain to get up there because we couldn't get up to the mountain where the snowmobile accident was. I don't even remember saying it, but apparently I hopped off, and if you want to beep me out, you can. I hopped off the big cat. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And like, and Matt goes, my actual brother-in-law now goes, what the fuck did you just say? Right in front of the patient, right in front of his brother or whatever was going on. I'm like, oh, yeah, moving on. It was, you know, I was pumping myself up the whole ride up. My adrenaline was pumping. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Come on, I got this. I got this. First time by myself. And what the fuck's going on here? What? Just dead silence in the middle of this freaking accident.
Just your gut reaction, was it?
But yeah, you in fire and EMS, you come across these scenes where if you're not calm and you're not thinking straight, you lose sight of the important goals.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously, like, they say bravery is not the lack of fear, but acting in spite of fear.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
So the other thing I say from the fire side is going into a building.
Sorry.
Like, you open up a door and that fire's coming right over you, right over your helmet, and you feel the heat. And if you're too afraid,
has that happened to you? Yeah.
Someone's gonna push you out of the way.
I can't imagine being in a situation like that. Well, I can, but it's sort of scary.
Yeah. Luckily, you have a whole group of brothers behind you to back you up that will push you, literally give you a shove through the door if they have to, or push you out of the way. Yeah. Hopefully it's in and not, well, out of the way, not in. So if you're that scared. And
that makes a huge difference for anything in life if you have someone there to back you up. It's not quite the same as what you're doing, but when I first started doing YouTube, I had to have my brother there, like my actual brother, to help me do my videos because I was just so nervous I couldn't do them on my own.
Yeah, I think having a support system is huge, in anything. So I'm very lucky. When I first started doing YouTube, my wife was, who I just met at the time, we were dating, was completely supportive of me of doing it. She even joined me in some of the Minecraft videos. We would set up literally the kitchen table. We were in a small apartment. She had a small little junky laptop. I had a small little junky laptop. I was using Fraps. Do you remember Fraps?
Oh yes.
So we were using Fraps to record, and we had a single mic. I think it was a Yeti in the middle, so it would pick up both of us.
Guess what kind of computer and microphone I'm using currently?
Yeti. Yetis are great.
And guess what kind of computer I've got?
Laptop.
A shitty little laptop. That's why it's so noisy.
But
it works, you know.
If it works, it works. And then obviously, if you love it, you build upon your tools. And then, like this microphone, I love this microphone. I'm using the Elgato Wave 3, and
ooh, fancy.
It's not the microphone itself; it's the software that comes with it. It's so nice. I can control 4 different channels or 5 or 6 different channels. So I can have gameplay on one, I can have your voice on one, I can have my voice on one, I can have whatever music in the background, and I control them all separately.
Slightly more sophisticated, my setup.
A little bit, but it's nice. It was daunting to try to learn it, but like once you get into it, it's like, oh, this isn't that hard.
Yeah, there's a bit of a learning curve to making videos and stuff, isn't there? But once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad.
There's still so much I don't know yet. Like as far as editing, I think Sonic Pickle, obviously. I'm such a minor.
Who?
His editing's fantastic in my opinion.
Yeah.
I always have this thought. It's like I would love to merge me, you, Pickle, and Moogle into some kind of like group and do videos
into one gazelle entity.
Yeah, so one entity, because Pickle's so good at editing. I think I have a pretty good eye as far as storytelling goes, and as far as like what needs to happen as far as filming. And I think you have such a creative mind, and then Moogle is just such an outgoing person. So I think that force somehow together could make a really fun content.
Okay. Well, it's funny you should say that. Going back to how I first started doing YouTube, one of the things I've seen is why I started doing YouTube is I wanted to try and be more outgoing and stuff. But there was always this sort of dream that maybe from doing YouTube I never wanted to be a YouTuber, become like a famous online content creator or whatever, but I always hoped that maybe it would act like a springboard for a job working on video editing or something. And I always hoped that maybe I would find like a bunch of people online that I could create stuff together, and we could become a team and have a one channel where we all make stuff together. And it's been a dream of mine for many years, but I've never really found the right people to do that.
Maybe I need to again talk with you more off of a camera about what I'm working on, because there's something similar going on there.
What, you doing stuff with other people?
I've always wanted to. I want to do more collaborations.
All right.
That's
what you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later. But what was I saying?
Yeah.
I was going to say something about kind of creation.
It's alright, I can edit stuff out of this if it's things you don't want in the actual video.
No, you can leave it. Just it builds suspense of maybe people checking me out for later on.
Alright, okay.
That's the big brain business scheme. Again, like you, I never wanted to be famous. I just wanted to do it for myself. I wanted to prove I could do it.
I think you have to be like a lot of people. It's been said many, many times already by many other people, but if you want to do YouTube, a lot of people just come on because they think it's a way to make money or anything. But no, you've got to do YouTube because it's something you actually want to do. Like anything, any creative endeavor, you've got to actually be interested in it.
So this is what I was actually going to say. So you're like, you wanted to springboard yourself, right? Through YouTube doing something?
I was always hoping maybe I could make a few animations or something, and someone on TV would, like someone who works in TV would see my animations and hire me as an animator or something, but it never happened.
I mean, you do see a lot of people, a few people do that. Actually, so kind of funny.
I don't really want that now because it seems like the TV and film industry is dying.
Yeah. But, I think independent content creation is definitely the way to go. I mean, there are like networks you can join. That was a big thing when I first joined, was networks. Oh, you gotta join this network. It's a group of blah blah blah, which is kind of what we were just talking about, but it's so disconnected.
Right. Yeah.
But honestly, so through editing and through learning doing like digital art, the Affinity and Photoshop, stuff like that, I think enhanced myself in the career I'm in currently, because the boss of where I work found my Crazy Justin video, played it in front of my father at the job, and now he's having me do some private work for him.
That would be like my worst nightmare if my dad ever found my YouTube videos.
Oh, I was so devastated. He's like,
I'm sure he'd be fine with it, but it's just the idea of someone who actually knows me in the real world seeing my stuff. It's like, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
But strangers from the other side of the world, I'm fine with that. It's a bit weird, that, isn't it?
It's one of those irrational fears, right?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying about your boss?
Oh, but yeah, so think of it as the head of the place you work, literally the big honcho, found my videos and showed it in front of a business meeting in front of everybody with my father in there. He right after he storms down to where I was working. What the heck did you do that for? I was like, I'm sorry, Dad. But it turned out to be a good thing because I have a really good relationship with my boss now, and he's actually having me do private work for him. Are
you able to say what you do, or is that a private thing?
No, I also teach a robotics team for my kids, right? Yeah. Well, he got me into that, but so the way he got me into that is by doing designs for all the teams. So I literally design robotics teams t-shirts.
You do robotics?
Yes. My son started this year, but I've been designing shirts for them for like 3-4 years now.
Alright. But like actually designing robots?
Yeah, so it's called Vex Robotics. So my son...
Why have I never known this about you before?
Yeah, I thought I mentioned it a few times on stream.
Sorry, I must have been away making dinner when you said or something, I don't know.
It's all good, bud. I normally just turn on streams just to listen to people and bullshit with people too. While I'm doing something. Like I'll listen to like either your stream or Pickle stream or Moogle stream. I'm normally doing design work on Affinity.
Because that's been another like childhood dream of mine, is the idea of designing robots and stuff. I'm surprised I never even knew that about you.
So right now it's kind of it's kitty robots. So
Yeah.
it's called Vex Robotics. If
Like,
you
well,
go
like
on-
toy robots and stuff.
similar. It's plastic pieces of steel and stuff like that. But you're still
Right,
using
yeah.
servos. You're still using motors. You're still using sensors. You're still using programming. You're still using a brain. And it's actually really cool. It's called Vex Robotics, and the one we're doing is called Vex IQ. So you buy these kits, but you literally have to design them, come up, problem solve the challenge they give you, and then, after how many months, we're actually kind of on a downtime right now because we're waiting for the next challenge to come out, so we can't design around it yet. But after you design, there are tournaments you go to all across the state, actually, this is a worldwide thing.
Oh, is that what you were talking about earlier?
What do you mean?
The robot tournaments. So. Did you not mention something like that before?
Yes, I did. So
Sorry, I
we
just not listening.
we just started a local tournament, a local robotics tournament in our area, the first one, and I was emceeing for it. I was doing the microphone. I was doing, and this is again where me doing YouTube has kind of come into my real life and helped me out, because I was literally on a mic for 8 hours, or actually it was 8, it was like 12 hours all day. We started at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and announcing these robot matches. And obviously this is my boss is the one kind of like, hey, do it. And so now every year I have a gig to announce for these robot tournaments. So you can actually buy like kits for yourself. It's super.
I got
so
a kit
we have one
years and years ago. It's like a toy robot that you build. But unfortunately, I had a few screws missing, so I never was able to finish it. But I remember getting that years ago, and nothing ever came of it. But I'm just astonished that I never knew this about you before.
I'm full of mystery. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Well, I don't know. You're pretty good at putting videos together.
I'm not a master though. In my own personal opinion, thank you very much. But like, you look at someone, I don't know, look at one of the bigger guys, and obviously they're actually like, it's funny to see, because like, once you get to a certain point where you can actually, if you can actually hire an editor, those people who edit literally only edit. That's their living, and they make a pretty good living off that, from what I hear. So a lot of the creative genius that comes through videos isn't actually the creator. They just film, and then they send it off to somebody else, and they'll edit it for them, and then they post it.
Yeah, it's one of the things, and well, I suppose it's good that it's making jobs for people, but I always feel it's a bit, I'm not quite sure if it's the right word, but it's sort of disingenuous that you get content creators, but it's actually other people that are doing all the editing and stuff. They're basically just the host of the video, I suppose. But it feels more like television rather than.
I was gonna say it's like a late night stand up guy who's like, Jimmy Fallon, just to say one. It's like, oh yeah, but all those jokes aren't his. They're a whole writing team, or SNL.
Yeah,
it's a whole writing team behind these people. It's not the people themselves. They're good actors, but they're not the. And again, they do write, but they're not the only ones coming up with these ideas.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's been really fun talking to you and learning all these new things about you. But we've spoken for over an hour now, and slightly past my dinner time. Getting slightly hungry, so do you want to move on to the quiz now? And
we'll do the quiz. We can end it up here. I think this has been a great talk, though. I'm having tons of fun.
Yeah, loads of things that I'm learning about you that I never knew before. I'm hoping I can do the same with a few other people. I don't know who I'll get on next. Maybe, I don't know. I know she's very busy, but it'd be quite good to get. I keep wanting to call her Kazzy because she used to be Kazzy Doodle. She used to
be Kazzy Doodle. That's right.
Yeah, but it's Moogle now, isn't it? Yeah, it'd be good to get her on and do stuff.
Yeah, she's been wanting to do stuff like this for a while, so we reach out to her.
All right. I don't know. It's just because she's always busy and stuff. I don't want to
intrude. Well, here's my philosophy on that. Not to go on another tangent, but you'll never know if you don't ask, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you had trepidation about asking me because.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And I'm the same way. It's why I don't ever reach out to anybody either. But I've come better, like, and actually, someone's turned me down recently about doing a collab. I was like, you know what, whatever, and we move on. All right, quiz time.
All right. Are you ready?
Having no idea, not being able to study, I'm ready.
Yeah, I don't know what resi is, but I think it's pretty similar to being ready. But what I was going to say was, are you ready for the Inquisition?
I'm ready!
You might like to know that there are some fabulous prizes, and I'm sorry I bumped the desk there. If you get all the questions right, you win top prize, which is a fabulous luxury speedboat, the Swifter 2000. It can go across any body of water at any speed you like, even past the speed of sound. It comes with a luxury private bar and comes with loads of babes and everything you could ever want.
You gotta have the babes.
And, what?
You gotta have the babes.
Oh yeah, of course. And the second prize, if you get most of the questions right but you get a few wrong, is some would argue just as valuable as that first prize, and that is the satisfaction of doing well in the quiz. So, are you excited?
I'm excited. Let's
Are
go
you
to the boat.
hyped? Yeah. So, question 1. True or false?
That's the question?
Yeah. True or false?
False.
Ah, sorry, it was true.
Ugh, damn it.
Which means, unfortunately, you don't get the speedboat this time, but at least you still have a chance of winning the satisfaction of doing well in the quiz.
I wanted that boat.
Well, you should have answered the right question then. Or the right answer, even. Okay, question 2. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, no, sorry. It's Michelangelo.
Oh, there's Michelangelo. That's right. I was like, damn it.
So, you've got no points so far. But
No points so far. I'm completely failing.
You've still got 8 questions to go, so you might do well. How many... question 3. How many states does the United States of America have?
50.
No, sorry, it was 2. You have America in a state of war, and America in a state of preparing for war.
That's a good one, buddy.
You should have known that being American.
I should know that. We're dropping bombs everywhere right now.
Alright, question 4. Who played Scaramanga in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun?
Scaremonger?
Yeah. Francisco Scaramanga.
I'm not a Bond guy. That's a pickle thing. I'm gonna go Sean Connery because he's my favorite Bond.
No, I'm afraid it was Christopher Lee. Sean Connery played James Bond.
I know.
I think you'll find.
I'll have to go look at it again.
Scaramanga was the villain. Oh, you need to bone up in your Bond knowledge.
Yeah, I do.
And you're going to love this next question. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at my own. Are you ready for question 5?
We'll see.
Alright. Question 5. What do you call the potato-based snack which is commonly sliced into thin pieces, baked or fried until crispy? Is it chips or crisps?
Alright. This is depending on where you are from. Actually,
It's a simple question.
No, it's not. Because you know this. You know my gripe with your language.
It's either chips or crisps.
Language over there. But I have a little story.
me
So
to
I'm
repeat
going to
the
say
question?
chips because I'm American, and they were actually invented in Saratoga.
No, it says crisps here. See, I googled it beforehand and they said it was crisps. Google never lies.
Google always lies. Let's get that straight.
I'm afraid you've got that question wrong. Sorry. It's crisps.
We'll agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah, but it's written down here in my quiz notes that it's crisps.
Fake news.
So.
Fake news.
Are you questioning the Inquisitor? How dare you?
How the tides have turned. All right, next question. I know we're getting long in this.
Question 6. How many seconds are in 22 seconds?
How many seconds are in 22 seconds?
Yeah. It's a simple question.
Okay, because I know your crazy mind, I'm gonna go 4:22 seconds.
Is that your final answer?
No, 22. I'm gonna go with what that logical person would say. 22.
I'm afraid it's just one. See, if you write it out, it's 22 and then 1 seconds. If you write it out in a sentence, 22 seconds. You only need to write seconds once.
Okay. I see what you're doing. I was thinking speaking, because I was like 4 maybe, because 22 seconds. I don't know. Next.
What?
Next.
You haven't got any questions right so far.
I've got none right according to you. I've gotten 1 right according to myself.
Still 4 questions, so you might leave here with some dignity. You ready for question 7?
Yes.
Question 7. How many eyes are in team?
There's no I in team.
It's the correct answer. You've got a point.
I got a point. I have 2 on the board.
I finally get to use my pen. What do you mean 2? You've got 1 point.
But you know what this means, though. Since I'm the first guest, I'm the top on the leaderboard, so I am number 1.
That is
As
true.
a true American is, number 1.
Alright, question 8. We mentioned him earlier. Are you a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog? No?
Yeah.
Yes. Alright then.
His older stuff.
What you saying?
The older games, yes.
Yeah, of course. The new ones are shite. Everyone knows
They
that.
are. We agree. We agree. That's 2. 3.
Well, it's still 1 point, but yeah, we agree on a thing which has been said. Anyway, question 8. What is the name of the second Sonic the Hedgehog game?
Sonic Adventures 2.
Is that your final answer?
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, actually.
No, I'm afraid it was Sonic CD.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, these questions are evil, aren't they?
No, they're great. I like these misleading questions.
Well, maybe you'll think differently with the next question.
Other than the one that's factually wrong to my language.
What one would that be?
The chips.
No, it says crisps. It still says crisps.
Potato chips. They were made 15 minutes south of me. I could go to the restaurant.
It's crisps. Alright, question 9. Have I asked this question before?
Yes.
Is that your final answer?
There has to be context to this, because have you asked this question before in this talking, or before to me, period? Because you have asked me.
Just in general, have I asked this question before?
So yes, you have.
Yeah, I have. That's you got 2 points.
I thought it was 3, because didn't I get the Sonic one right? Isn't that?
No. You said it was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's actually Sonic CD.
No, I thought.
Don't question the question.
No. Okay, so the question you asked me is if I like Sonic wasn't the question. Okay.
No. I was just asking in general, do you like Sonic? Because we mentioned him earlier. Well, I think I mentioned him earlier. That wasn't the question.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense then.
Sorry.
No, there's confusion there.
Yeah, I apologise for that. Question 10. Who was the first man to walk on the moon? I'll give you a clue. He was American. You're American. You should know.
I am American. I should know this. I'm going to say Neil Armstrong? Or hang on. Is this one of those really trick questions where because no one was landed on the moon because the moon landing was fake? Is that what it's going to be? Is that what this is going to be, Swifto? Is that what this is?
Would I ever try and trick you?
Well, we've done it 9 times now. So I'm going to say moon landing was fake. No one landed on the moon.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer on this one.
It was Neil Armstrong. You should have gone with your first.
I should have gone with my... I was actually going to say Buzz Aldrin because who videotaped Neil Armstrong getting off the lander?
That's very true.
You're right.
I think it was aliens. I think it was the aliens that did it.
Aliens. You know, no, it was a Hollywood studio in a basement somewhere by the government psyops. That's what it was.
Well, would you like to know your final score?
I'm gonna guess 3.
Out of 10 questions, you managed to get 2 right.
Nope, 3.
So I'm afraid you don't get
I'm right on the chips one. There's no arguing the chips.
And you don't even get the satisfaction of doing well in the quiz. So I'm afraid you've completely lost today, and frankly, it's been quite a disappointing start to this quiz. But on the bright side, you are in first place.
Number 1, baby. America, number 1.
America, USA.
America. USA, USA, USA.
For now, at least. Well, did we have fun today?
Oh, I had a great time.
That's good to hear.
How about you, birds? You having fun? I didn't scare you too bad with the water bottle. Stop fighting over there, ladies. Sorry, the ladies are fighting in their little enclosure.
Women, eh?
Yeah, women. That's right. Must be the time of month.
Well, in all genuine seriousness, it has been a lot of fun having you on, and it's been an honour to have you as my first guest on the InQuizitor.
Well, it has been an honour being Inquisitor. Torted?
Yeah.
Tord?
I mean, you were like my, second or third choice, so it was great to get you on. I'm only joking.
Well, at least I was one of the choices.
I'm only joking with you. But all seriousness, no, I really am very appreciative for you taking the time out of your busy life, because I know you are actually, in fact, Superman with all the things that you do.
No. I'm just a wandering husk at this point.
You look after your kids, great dad. You look after all sorts of animals. You're a firefighter. You do lots of great YouTube videos and Twitch live streams, and you even design robots, which I never even knew until today. So I think you are pretty much like Superman, basically.
Well, thank you. I try my best, but I think you are an amazing creator as well.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm just rubbish at everything I do.
And I think this format has a great future if you continue it. Hopefully you continue it. Well, I look forward to seeing.
I appreciate that. I hope so.
With other people struggling with your fake news questions.
They weren't fake news. It was genuine facts. You can't argue with facts.
Fake
facts
news.
are facts.
Ask anybody. There's fake news. They all know. This is my horrible Trump impression. But thank you everyone for watching.
All right, and
subscribe. Help him out. Swifto needs help.
No, don't subscribe to me. Subscribe to Boxin. He has actually content that's worth watching and listening to. Thank you very much again, and all that remains for me to say is adios, my fine fellow.
I got one more thing to say.
All right, sir.
Remember, everybody, keep on fighting.
Oh yes, sir.
Until next time. Bye.
Adios, fine fellows.
This video was brought to you by New Sillitos Premium Deluxe. New Sillitos Premium Deluxe. It's the Bees Bollocks.